Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 209 until I'm a YouTube millionaire. This one's going to be another reaction video. I've been seeing a lot of Omni-Man videos on my feed lately for some reason. It's not that I'm looking for it. I think probably Amazon Prime paid YouTube to advertise their videos, in particular Omni-Man. And also there's a high level of interest in it just organically because it's a very interesting show. I figured I would give a little bit of a reaction to one of my favorite videos that have popped up with respect to this. You can read the title right there. It's Alan the Alien and Battle Beast Save Omni-Man. So, Alan the Alien, if you didn't already know, is the one-eyed alien. He's a Cyclops, right, who gets progressively more powerful as he's nearly unalived. And he's gotten to the point in this scene where he's pretty much as strong as an average Viltrumite. And then you have Battle Beast, this guy right here, who is also as strong as your average Viltrumite. These are like the strongest beings in this comic universe that are not Viltrumites. And they're trying to save Nolan right now.
Viltrumites. At long last, my thirst for battle can be satiated.
Forgive him, he's a fan, he's been really wanting to do that.
Alan the Alien right there.
Long have I waited for such a worthy challenge. I will savor this. And if this conflict brings about the end of my life, I will savor it all the more.
So he's kind of a combination of Hulk and Thor in animal form in this show. And as you can see, Alan the Alien is the other guy. He gets bigger and buffer every time he survives a battle. And the more close he gets to unaliving, the stronger he gets. Kind of like a Super or a Saiyan in Dragon Ball. It's called a Zenkai boost in Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, but this is how it works here. They're trying to save Nolan because Nolan abandoned his post on Earth. Nolan's objective, given to him by Viltrum, the Viltrumite Empire, was to take over and conquer Earth single-handedly. So he unalived all of the other superheroes that were protecting Earth in this comic book, or this comic series, right? And he's like this universe's Superman. So, except it's much different in the fact that he has a more brutal way of looking at life, because he gets that from his civilization. He also lives super long. He's got a lifespan of like 10,000 years or something to that effect. But on Earth, he unalived all the other superheroes that were in the Guardians of the Globe, kind of like the Avengers type of thing. And he was the only one left. He was trying to hide it, that he had done that, but eventually the Immortal comes back, because he's immortal, he can be resurrected and stuff, and because he unalives him in front of everybody, they see, oh, he actually did this. It was him. But he abandons his post on Earth because he has a certain coming to Jesus moment, I guess you could say. His son, Mark, Invincible, tries to convince him with words, not with fists, to see the error in his ways, and starts to have an effect. And that's why Nolan leaves Earth at first and basically roams outer space trying to figure out who he is and what he's doing and why he's doing it. Goes to a different planet, saves some other people, some other creatures, like mantis people, and the Viltrumites find out that he abandoned his previous post and did not accomplish his mission, which was to take over Earth. So they take him back to Viltrum and try to give him a rehabilitation, and he does not succeed at that, so they say they're going to execute him. And these two are trying to save him right now. Alan the Alien, with the mission of saving him because he's kind of like a seed in the Viltrum Empire, a weakness, where they actually do have compassion. There are some of them that do for other beings and aren't just simply trying to conquer. And these guys are Nolan's executioners that Battle Beast and Alan are fighting.
I said go. I hear you, but I'm gonna do this anyway.
One thing that should be noted about this series is that it's very, very, very brutal. It's been called violence prawn because it's so bloody. But frankly, I mean, that's what Amazon wants to do in order to get people to watch. It worked. Omni-Man, and I think the series is actually called Invincible, yeah, is very popular as a result. But it does have a good story. I like the fact that Nolan, being the conqueror that he is, has a redemption arc. Now, I don't know where they're going to take the series eventually, but what's here now is good.
So you're the special you-know-thing.
I mean, I don't like to brag.
You know thing. One thing about Unopans, his species, they're very straightforward. They just, like, are blunt. Maybe because they're a little bit less intelligent than everybody else. I don't think that's actually the case. But they're, at least him, Alan, is a pretty good dude. And he just says what he feels. Doesn't hide it.
You're not so special.
Stop! Go!
He's known as the special Cyclops species because he gets so much stronger every time he survives a Viltrumite battle. It's actually, he was specifically bred for that purpose. Alan the alien.
Sorry I ruined your excuse, Nolan. Looks like I'm going first.
Get away from him!
See, now they say he's not going to pass away with honor because he saved Alan. But this is part of the redemption arc. Big deal. I mean, I will say it's noted that when he unalives the Guardians of the Globe, he actually does seem really sad about it. He collapses in the room. He is exhausted because they did almost beat him. They weren't weaklings. But he was very sad because they were his friends. And he had to take them all out. So he does have compassion, even though he's a Viltrumite.
See you, man. Did you get a haircut? You trim your mustache? Did you style your mustache? Get up!
See, he's a goofball.
Disgrace yourself again!
I knew you had it in you. The redemption arc. Now, I gotta be honest with you, Alan the Alien kind of reminds me a lot of me. Because I'm very straightforward and a goofball, just like him. So much of a goofball that I have friends that call me Goofus Maximus. A goofy goober, and I like it. I like being a silly goose. It's fun.
Shit, I hate these guys.
He just says, shit, I hate these guys. It's like, no duh, right? Yeah, in case you didn't know, they're in outer space on an interrogation ship. I believe this is a Viltrumite ship, but I don't know that part of the series. Again, I don't know why necessarily this keeps popping up on my feed, but I figured there are some good things about it. I might as well give a little bit of a review. When I first saw Omni-Man come out, I was very, very pissed off at the series. I did not like it in the slightest. Because there is absolutely no purpose to having that kind of power and just wasting it the way Omni-Man does and hurts people with it. There's no point in that. And for that reason, I despised the series when it first came out. But because it's having such a redemption arc for Nolan, I'm honestly super grateful for that. Because that affects millions of people's perspectives, if not billions. And we're trying to guide the whole of the world to better pastures, to a better future. And the fact that you showed that, there's redemption to it, that's pretty fucking important. So, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you have infinite power, the strongest being that ever existed, if you cannot meet the smallest being where they are and have a personal relationship with them, all your power is meaningless. So I like what they're doing with the series right now. It's still very violent, but I can look past that.
You think Battle Beast can survive in space? Probably, right? What?
I don't know if Battle Beast survived this, but Alan the Alien and Omni-Man are able to survive in space. They don't need to breathe for very long periods of time. Omni-Man can hold his breath for weeks. I'm guessing that it's fairly similar with Alan. I don't know if Battle Beast survived. Honestly, I have to say they do a pretty good job of showing how it would actually be in space in terms of not having any sound. They still have to put a little bit of it in here so that you get a sense of what's going on, right? And to their credit, there would be still like a layer of oxygen or a layer of material surrounding a person's body, right? So there would still be a capacity for at least a little bit of sound. Not much, especially since there's also air coming out of that hole in the ship. But they do a pretty good job showing that. And also they communicate telepathically, because you can't speak in space, right? You gotta hold your breath. There's no air for your sound waves to move through it. So they just forego that by communicating telepathically. And to that point, none of the species in this series, just like on basically all of the comic book series that have anything to do with outer space, they all for some reason can speak English. Every single one of them. That's fine. That's totally fine. There's purpose to that, in that when you can communicate telepathically, it's really just a connection for the intent of the thought, right? So you have a different word for a specific intent than I do, but the intent is still the same. So. This is pretty brutal. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. One thing to keep in mind is that the Viltrumites can take a huge amount of damage. It can look and appear as if they're dead, but they actually, several months later, can fully heal themselves and come back to life. So that's what happened with Conquest when he fought Invincible for the first time. Invincible whooped his ass the first time he fought him, but Conquest healed and came back. So Invincible had to whoop his ass a second time and completely incinerate him the second time. In this case, this Executioner guy, his head was just smashed as you saw, but I don't know where it goes in the series. He probably will survive it. So, and there you go. I felt it incumbent upon me to at least give something of a review for some of the Omni-Man videos that are popping up, because they're all over the place, and they are interesting. And like I said, the redemption arc that Nolan had is tied to... Anyway, is tied to how much I've started to appreciate the series again. So, there you go, guys. Hope you appreciated it. Love y'all. Love y'all.